All right, Tyler, take us into the NBA. A little more excitement there.
Yeah, so we do have a ton of NBA headlines here. Russell Westbrook continues to be absolutely amazing. In a game against our hometown boys, the 76ers on Wednesday night, Westbrook recorded a triple-double unlike any other in NBA history. He did not miss a single shot all night, which is absolutely astounding. Went 6 for 6 from the floor and 6 for 6 from the the free throw line. And it was his 35th of the season. He is currently chasing down Oscar Robertson. His record is 41.
And I think since then he's had a 36th.
He's coming close to it. I think we have like 7 or 8 games left in the NBA season, so it's going to take a lot, but there is a shot for him to still get it.
And he did not actually shoot from 3-point.
Not one 3-point shot at all.
No, he was trying to get to the low block because you're without Joel Embiid.
Right.
So he took advantage of that.
Not a bad strategy on his part, that's for sure.
Yeah, going 12 for 12.
Yeah. Another big-time performance, and a historic one, was by Phoenix Suns' Devin Booker as he dropped 70 points in a loss against the Boston Celtics. Booker becomes only the 7th player to reach the 70-point mark. He joins Wilt Chamberlain, Kobe Bryant, David Thompson, David Robinson, and Elgin Baylor. Also notable about the Suns that night, their starting lineup was one of the youngest in the country playing basketball. The average age of the Suns' starting five was 21 years old and 14 days, younger than Arizona, Xavier, and Gonzaga by 54 days. Those three teams NCAA teams that were playing that day. Purdue was the only team younger than Phoenix with an average of 20 years and 265 days. And pretty wild to score 70 points and still lose.
Yeah.
And also pretty wild to have a team that's on average younger than most
Well,
NCAA
it was the
teams.
starting five, but I mean, there's not really any old, like PJ Tucker is one of the older guys, but he was not a starter that night. But I just think it's incredible. The starting lineup was that young.
Yeah.
Literally a college team.
Right, and it shows the direction of the NBA too. It's constantly getting
younger and younger.
The NBA has handed Knicks center Joakim Noah, thank God, a 20-game suspension for violating the league's anti-drug policy. The suspension will begin when Noah is medically ready to play. He is out for the season, I believe, right now. So it's looking like it's going to be sometime next year. Suspension will be, he hasn't seen the court. He hasn't seen the basketball court, since February 4th, and subsequently went arthroscopic knee surgery. The supplement was an over-the-counter sedative called androgen. It was an androgen receptor modulator. So try saying that 3 times fast. It can create anabolic activity like testosterone without the side effects. And speaking of New York, we talked about the Knicks and the triangle offense last week. Coach Jeff Hornacek has come out since and said that he would like from the start of next training camp to be instituting the triangle as the full-time offense for the team. When asked if he had the right players to do it, he said just maybe, which
means Carmelo Anthony's gone.
Another shot at the direction of this team is you don't really know who the hell is going to be there, who's going, who's staying. After a scuffle in the Bulls and Raptors game, Robin Lopez and Serge Ibaka got into it and threw some punches. It earned each of them a 1-game suspension without play. Ibaka purposely shouldered Lopez after a foul, so Lopez threw a jab and a shove, and Ibaka answered with one of his own. A Raptors assistant coach was fined $15,000 for shoving Bulls' Nikola Mirotic in a way that the NBA deemed was not in the manner of a peacemaker. And the last headline that we have here, somewhat staying in Philadelphia, Dominic at least has a gripe with this whole Villanova being in Philadelphia.
It's not a gripe, it's a fact. It's a fact. Right. Villanova's in Radnor Township. All right?
Villanova senior Josh Hart is in the NBA draft and has found his agent. His agent will be Jay-Z of Rock Nation, big name there. Rock Nation now has 13 athletes signed to the brand. And we do have some injuries quick if you want to go into those.
Trusting the process, Joel Embiid underwent knee surgery to repair his torn meniscus. His youth is on his side, though. At age 23, he is expected to resume basketball activities this summer. And Houston Rockets power forward Ryan Anderson will be out roughly 2 weeks with an ankle injury he suffered Friday night against the New Orleans Pelicans. Quick little fact, the Rockets have made 70 three-pointers against the Pelicans, and that is the most any team has made against any team in a season.
any one team against any other team in a season. That's pretty wild.
And because they're both in the West and they're in that same, I don't know what the division is.
Four games against each other in a year. So,
yeah, I think it's something
probably
pretty
right around four home, four away. So that's, I mean, you're looking at that. That's just under 23s a game. That's wild.
And let's just get the standings. Let's see where we're at in the NBA. The East is not looking as good as the West. We were just talking maybe a month ago, at how the East was looking really strong.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then we were talking about how the West was not looking so hot, especially with the loss of Kevin Durant. That's a major blow to the West as just a national competitor. And seems
the tides
like
have turned a little bit.
I think so.
So I do have the standings up right now. I want to start Western Conference first just because it means the least to us here in Philadelphia. So first off, we have the Warriors at 59-14. They are in first place. They're ahead of the Spurs by 2.5 games. The Spurs are 56-16 in second place. The Rockets 51-22 in third. And then we have a pretty deep drop off by 7 games here. The Jazz are in fourth at 44-29. The Clippers fifth. Thunder 6th, Grizzlies 7th, and the race for that 8th spot, which really won't matter in the end, is between the Trailblazers and the Nuggets right now. Both are 35-38. Currently, the Trailblazers hold the tiebreaker, but they're both 24 games back from the Warriors. So
I have to say Durant doesn't play, even if he's healthy.
Even in that series,
there could be a chance.
Yeah.
Especially, and I don't want to say especially against the Nuggets because the Nuggets are a good team.
Right.
But. I don't think they're rushing Durant back for that first round.
Yeah, no, might as well save him for that second round, especially if you're going to be playing like a 5th seed or a 4th seed or something, maybe like the Jazz. And then we can move on to the Eastern Conference standings, and means a little bit more to us here in Philadelphia, but doesn't really mean all that much at all because the Sixers are not in contention. Currently 14th in the East, only behind the lowly Nets.
The only thing we're in contention for is Dario Saric winning Rookie of the Year if Devin Booker cools off.
Right.
So if Devin Booker continues to go off, maybe scores another 40-point game or another 50-point game, because he knows he can do it now, so everybody has the confidence. Maybe the coach is like, well, screw it, the season's over for us. Let's just feed this kid the ball.
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen.
Let's play the mellow ball game with him or something.
Yeah, right. Just leave him just go 4-on-5 on defense.
Yeah.
But it's looking like Dario Saric is the front runner for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
And I'm really hoping so. Unfortunately,
a little excitement here.
Unfortunately, Joel Embiid won't. He's obviously out of Rookie of the Year again.
Had a shot at it.
Yeah, because he had 30 games played, so you know what I mean. I think when Blake Griffin tore his ACL, he was only like 2 or 3 games into the season. And so they did give him that shot again, and then he did win it. There obviously is a criteria.
So over on the Eastern Conference, the Eastern side of things, like I said, 76ers right now are 27-46. 14th place in the East, just ahead of the all-tanking New York, the Brooklyn Nets actually, but both New York teams right now in the middle of the tank, hoping for lottery spots. So first in the East we have the Cavs, which is actually kind of weird. They have less wins than the Celtics, but by percentage they are still in first place. Actually 2 less games played than the Celtics, so they have some time. There's still a little bit to be figured out there, but the Cavs are in first place right now. Celtics are a close second. No games back, like I said, just a matter of decimal points
win
here.
Percentage.
The Wizards are in third at 45-28. The Raptors fourth at 44-29, and then we have a pretty steep drop-off again. 7 games here between 4th and 5th place. The Hawks are 37-36, so just barely breaking that 500 mark. The Bucks are right there also. And then the Pacers are in 7th, and the Heat, who are actually under 500, are in the 8th spot, just ahead of the Bulls by, again, just decimal points. They played 1 less game, 1 less loss, and are .006 games ahead.
You know, I'm looking at this thing right here, and it seems that the matchups in the first round of the East are going to be very exciting. Because you look at the Bucks, and they win by matchup. They may not be the most skilled. They got a guy like Giannis Antetokounmpo who is just a stud. He's almost like LeBron James-like. So remember, we are coming to you live from Broad and Gerard, featuring our boys in blue, Philadelphia PD. Alongside Tyler Young, I'm Dominic Barone. This is Young and Dominant Sports Talk, coming to you live from Facebook Live in the third most important city in the country, most important in our hearts. But going back to the East and the standings there, I don't think there's not really any surprises this year. Other than the Wizards maybe climbing. They were a second seed. They were a second seed at one point, so that was interesting to see. And like I said, the matchup side. So you have a 3 and a 6. So with the Bucks and the Wizards, that's going to be a good matchup. If it all stays as is.
Right.
So you have the Celtics and the Pacers. That is going to be a good matchup with Paul George and Isaiah Thomas. Maybe they won't be guarding each other, but and then you have the Heat and the Cavaliers. I don't think that the Heat really has a real chance.
No, they don't really stand a chance. But it's always fun to see LeBron against the Heat.
Of course,
kind of the old time.
We know Dwayne Wade, no Chris Bosh, but
right.
And
Exactly.
where are the Bulls in here?
The Bulls are actually in 9th right now. They're behind.
Wow.
They're right behind the Heat.
We had no Dwayne Wade.
Yeah,
and,
Dwayne's out for the year.
Rajon Rondo
so.
is. I don't even know what you would call him. Inconsistent at
Yeah.
best.
Oh yeah, for sure.